The important question that is asked in data modeling interviews are like, what are the dimensional tables? So, what are the types of dimension tables? Like, here is the list of dimension tables. They are SCD, RCD. SCD meaning slowly changing dimensions, RCD meaning rapidly changing dimensions. So, SCD is like slowly changing, like you have an employee table where the salary of the employees rarely change once in a year or so like that. So there are very slowly changing dimensions. RCD has like rapidly changing dimensions, something like in time and out time of an employee. Like at least 10 times every record is generated for each employee. So right, they are rapidly changing dimensions. There are something like junk dimensions, which are like, the values of yes or no values, or delivery status of a delivery of a product, of an order. Like, they are like, frequently changing, like whether it is delivered yes or no, booked yes or no, like that. Those kind of junk dimensions, we keep them separately in another dimension and refer to it with a order ID or something like that. If you want to delve, dig deeply into the orders. Inferred dimensions and deferred dimensions. Deferred dimensions are like, which are which the data is something like we got this customer order to be we have got an customer order table, an order ID of a customer, but the customer details are not being uploaded into the dimension. So, if the customer details are not available, but the order is available to be ingested, then what we do is we just create a sample customer ID in the customer table and without any details. And later on, when the customer details are available, we update other details. This is called as deferred dimension, or we try to defer them for the moment. We don't upload these details. We don't upload these orders. And later on, when the customer details are available, then only we'll upload these details. They are called in deferred dimensions. Inferred means what I told, like create a customer ID in the customer table, and later on we'll update the customer details. Another thing is confirmed dimensions. Confirmed dimensions are like, we have the same details, something like the date details, the products, which are used by multiple facts. Like there's a sales order table, which uses the country table, which uses the date table, which uses the product table. And also there is another table which uses, which might also use this dimensions. Such a kind of date table, product table, these are called as conformed dimensions. Degenerate dimensions are like, the invoice ID, all these things, invoice ID we don't need in the fact table, but still, if you want, you can keep them separately in a degenerate table. And role play dimensions. Role play dimensions are like, we have a build to ship to details, which we don't have. Build to is different, ship to is build to address is different, ship to address is different. But both of them, we need them in the customer table. So, but since both of them share the same schema, we have to refer to the same address table, but we create two different columns in the customer table. So for that, we refer to the address table two times and rename them in the customer table. And other thing are static dimensions, dynamic dimensions. Static dimensions are which would don't whose values don't change. Dynamic dimensions are like the values change. Sparse dimensions and dense dimensions. Sparse dimensions are like there is one table which almost all the columns are empty. Something like you have the feedback table where all we have different comments columns, but which are always empty. Dense dimensions are like the table for which every column is filled. Shrunken dimensions are like you or the something like those tables whose we create one table from another table. Like table is containing 10 columns. We create another column with three, something like department table is having 10 columns. We create another department table, short called a short department table, which is having only three columns, just for our purpose. So these are the different dimensions that are there, types of dimension tables.